This is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. It is absolutely stunning. That was incredible. Awfully because I put the mattress in the fan last night so that I could have it there ready to go. So I've been sleeping on an airbed, and every time I move, that's the noise. So, feeling very tired. But I need to get up, get dressed, get going because I've got a 2.5 hour drive. So yeah, catch up with you in a bit when I'm in Busselton. Just arrived at Busselton. The drive wasn't too bad, pretty much just sat at 100 kilometers an hour the whole way and sang some Disney songs, but the weather on the other hand, I'll show you, it is chucking it down. Like there were some points where I had to slow down because I had the windscreen wipers on max and I couldn't see a thing. So it's a little bit of a shame. It's not bad enough that I can't see. I was really concerned that it was going to be sort of almost like foggy, and I wouldn't be able to see anything on the jetty, but I've just driven past and I actually can see the jetty, and I think it's still going to be great. And you know what, I think I'm going to be inside on the train and going down into the observatory, so I think it'll still be good. I'm just gonna have to take my umbrella, but exciting. I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't think I've even told you what I'm doing yet. I am at Busselton Jetty and I'm going to go on the train to the end of the jetty, and then there is an underwater observatory that you can go in where you basically go down underneath the water and you get to look at all the animals and stuff, and I assume that it's through glass or something. I hopped onto the train at Busselton Jetty, and before getting on I did grab myself a hot chocolate from a little cafe nearby, and the train was about 20 minutes long. Unfortunately the weather was pretty bad. As you can see, it really was raining quite heavily, but to be honest it wasn't that bad at all when we were in the carriages because they had sides on them that meant that you weren't getting soaked. But yeah, we went into the observatory and all I can say is it was a little bit like the opposite of going in a lighthouse. Rather than going up and looking out the windows, you basically went down and looked out of these windows, and there was a sea lion there just chilling in the water, and apparently she's called Cecilia and she comes regularly. But wow, it really was incredible. The pillars holding up the jetty were just covered in all these amazing coloured corals, and even though the water's really cloudy here, you can see just how many fish there were swimming about. Honestly, we've been snorkeling at quite a few different reefs and things, but this was just something different. And yeah, as you can see, it really is quite cloudy in the water just because so much sediment was getting stirred up, but it was amazing. To the end of Busselton Jetty, I've just been in the observatory and it was insane. It was so cool. I wish I could have stayed there all day. There were so many fish, there was a sea lion. Okay, at the end, made it. 1.84 kilometers out to sea, which was pretty amazing. And I have to say the weather was not the best and everybody thought that I was mad for going right to the end of the jetty, but do you know what I decided? I probably will only come visit this once, and why not go out? It's only a little bit of rain, I'll dry off, and I was wearing my raincoat anyway, but I really liked the fact that it showed you how far you were to each place, and they even had London on there, so yeah, a little bit of a trek to London, but yeah, nice to know that there's a little bit of home there. But as you can see, it was completely deserted, everybody was sheltering. Alright, it sounds like the train is on its way, so we're gonna head back and then hop on the train back and then probably go and explore the little museum on the jetty. Now Now, if you know me, you will know that I love trains, so I found it very exciting when the guys started driving the train round from one end of the carriages to the very other end. And what made it even more exciting was that the train had both normal wheels and then train track wheels. And this just reminded me of a Top Gear episode where they were trying to turn their cars into trains that could drive on the tracks. So yeah, I found it fascinating. It was fab and I loved every minute of it, but it was so beautiful and I really did have the best time. Just sat in the van and ate my lunch because it's raining again, but I had roast chicken, lettuce, crisps, salsa, and some homemade bread rolls. So not a bad lunch. I think I'm gonna go have a wander around the town now. There's so many cute little shops and things here with like handmade goods in, so I'm gonna go have a nosy and try not to buy too much stuff because I love like handmade things that are bespoke, particularly like jewelry and paintings and things. So yeah, I think I'm going to find some nice little bits here. But the Jetty was incredible. It was so lovely. I went down in the train. I was in a carriage with a family and they were so lovely. We had a lovely little chat along the way. And then when we got to the end, I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't what was there. Like, it was almost like being in a lighthouse, but rather than going up, you go down, and there was all different levels with different windows, and it was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And the lady sort of kept apologising because it wasn't very clear today because of the weather, so it was churning up the seafloor and making it quite cloudy, but actually I still felt like it was really, really good, and you could see a lot still, and there was a sea lion as well, which we saw. So yeah, it was really, really, really lovely, and I definitely would love to come back again. So maybe when Myron's back, we can go again together, and maybe on a better day and the water will be clearer. But yeah, definitely worth a visit. But like I said, gonna have a wander around the town now. Fingers crossed it doesn't rain, and then I think after that I'm gonna head on to the next place. I can't remember where I plan to go next, so I'll let you know when I get there. I have just been in the Perth chocolate factory and picked up some goodies. I didn't film very much because it was heaving in there, and I have to say I did think you were going to be able to see a bit more chocolate making. The fact that it was called a factory, to be honest, it was just more like a really big shop. But as you'll have seen in the picture or the video that I inserted, you got loads of free chocolate buttons and you could just keep going back for as many as you wanted. And I had a huge handful and it was melting in my hand as I was going around, so I was trying to like scoff them in my mouth. But yeah, it was really, really good. They've got a little cafe in there as well. They had ice cream. They had pretty much anything you could ever want that was chocolate wise. So yeah, I picked up a few bits. And I'm going to go to the next place now, which is kind of the main reason that I wanted to come down to Margaret River, which was that I want to go to the Quinninup waterfalls because I keep seeing them on social media and they look incredible, and I know that if I leave it any longer there's not going to be much water in them, so I'm going to try and head over there now. The only problem is that the main route that you get to them is via a four-wheel drive track, and Henry isn't a four-wheel drive. He doesn't even particularly like going on anything that's not like a tarmac road. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I've done a little bit of research and there's another road that people say that you can go down. It's just a slightly further walk. However, looking online, that also looks like it is part dirt track, and yeah, I would rather not be going on any dirt tracks, particularly because it rained so much this morning and I'm on my own. Like, if I get bogged, I'm kind of screwed. So yeah, we're gonna go have a look. If it looks like it's just gonna be too difficult, I might have to leave it this time, or if I can park a bit further away and walk a bit further, I'm more than happy to do that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but fingers crossed I'll make it there. But I am really excited because if it is, I mean, most of the things are never as impressive as you see on Instagram, but I'm hopeful that because it's rained this morning it's going to be pretty impressive. So we will have to go and see, and it's right next to the beach as well, so I might even go chill on the beach for a bit again, as long as it doesn't rain. Just going to quickly change my shoes into my trainers because I've got a little bit of a hike up the coast So I think online it said anywhere between like 1 to 2 hours. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I don't think it's going to take that long, but we'll see. If I need the loo first, the only thing is, it's one of those horrible, like, drop toilets, and they're the sort of thing where you have to start holding your breath about 5 meters before you even get anywhere near it, so wish me luck. It is absolutely stunning. Just see Henry Van peeping out there. How beautiful is that? This is gonna be so good. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be walking down the coast and then hopefully be able to find the waterfall. It is absolutely stunning. The water just makes you want to go and get in. Well, it looks like we're in the right place because I've just found this board that has the trail on it. It's saying 1.5 to 2 hours. Is it really that far? I mean, all the ones that we've done before in Australia, they say a really long time, and then they're actually not that bad. So I might time it. I might set the timer going and see how long it takes me. But it says there's lots of wildflowers, which I'm really excited about because it is wildflower season at the moment. It's coming into spring. So I think it's going to be really, really pretty. Oh, and I think this is rosemary. Is it rosemary? Oh, it's not rosemary, but it still smells nice. What's this bush here? Don't know what it is, but it smells nice. Anyway, let's get walking. The first of the wildflowers. I love these pink ones. I think they look like little pom-poms, and there's some white flowers next to it. You've got some yellow flowers. These ones are big. Quite like these ones. Some cute pink flowers. Look at that one. That's some sort of orchid, isn't it? That's really pretty. Okay, I wasn't expecting this. There's actually a boardwalk. So yeah, I thought it said that it was supposed to be quite a tricky track. Maybe further on there's a lot of rocks, but for now we are literally just walking on the boardwalk. But what a view. Honestly, I wish I lived down here because I would be out doing walks like this every single day. And they've got the long trail that goes along the coast here. I can't think of the name right now, but this is part of it, and I would really like to do it at some point. Probably not in one go, but I would quite happily do it over like a few days or a few weekends maybe. So I think that's probably going to be the plan. I say later in the year, but it's going to get hotter, isn't it? So maybe I might come back and do some of it next weekend. We'll have to see. I spoke too soon. The track is now sand and steep. This is going to be hard coming up on the way back. Okay, it says 300 meters till we're at the waterfall. Oh, I can see it. It's not that crazy, but I always think it's really cool having a waterfall next to the beach. But this sand, oh my goodness, that's going to make it hard on the way back up, I think. But also, I don't know if I'm the only one, but does anybody else, when they're walking in either a woodland or even in this environment down by the coast, wonder like, I wonder what stuff I can forage here. Like, I wonder which of these plants you can actually eat, what they taste like, do they have medicinal uses? I'm sure most people don't think that, but that's the sort of thing that runs through my head when I'm doing something like this, because particularly in the UK, I love foraging for stuff, like out on little walks and things. I love picking up things and making them into tasty meals or treats or things like, I don't know, elderflower cordial or blackberry crumble and things. But here, because I don't know what the vast majority of the plants are. They're all completely novel to me. I don't dare pick anything because I don't want to make myself poorly. But I know that a few of the walks we've been on, they've had signs up and they've told you about the different plants, and that a lot of them are used by the Aboriginal communities for certain things. So you definitely can eat a lot of them and use them for certain things. I guess it's just having that knowledge and knowing what you can do with them. But yeah, it's so pretty. Like, look at all the yellow flowers behind me. We're nearly there. I'll show you when we get to the top. Made it. It's definitely got a bit less water flow than in the pictures I saw on Instagram, but that was when we were having the really heavy rainfall. It's still gorgeous. The fact that it's next to the sea. It's so beautiful. I literally can't stop grinning. It is just incredible. I wish I could park here and just camp overnight, because to wake up to this view in the morning would be incredible. But anyway, I'm gonna head back to the van, and the plan is to go to this pizza place that I keep seeing recommended online. So I'm gonna get a takeaway and then drive to my camp spot for the night, because I think it's gonna be down a bit of a windy lane and I don't want to have to fight with any kangaroos because it's gonna be dark. I mean, it's already getting dark. I think it's the clouds are coming in. So yeah, I'm gonna walk back up that sandy hill, so wish me luck, and yeah, catch up with you later. Dinner. Yeah, I can see you. Is that your baby? To be fair, might be. Or there might be one in the pouch. I think there's one in the pouch. Got the goods. It is the cutest little pizza place. Very nice. Oh, on a gravel road. Are not my favourite, but actually I don't want to jinx it, but so far it's not too bad. It's not too corrugated, so fingers crossed it stays that way. Okay, we're here. We made it to the campsite. It was about 15 kilometers of dirt road, so probably like, I'm gonna say about 15 minutes of driving, because I drive slowly when it's dirt road. I mean, to be fair, it was gravel, not dirt road, but actually it was so beautiful. And I saw a kangaroo across, but I am really in the middle of nowhere right now. Like, I will show you, give you a little tour of where we are. So this is me. The sun's setting. Henry van. Even got my own little table. Not bad. $15. $15 for this. Pretty impressed. Might even go sit on the table and eat my pizza. Good morning, it is Sunday. I've just woken up. Look at my view. It's Gorgeous. It's definitely a bit chilly this morning, so I'm glad that I slept in my jumper. But there's somebody on one of the campsites a few down who is snoring, and I can hear them. And this van is insulated, so they must be snoring really loudly. I was wondering if it was a bird to start with, but like it's too regular, so I'm pretty sure it's someone snoring. So anyway, I'm gonna have some breakfast, get dressed, and then we're heading to some caves. So I booked to go on a tour of these caves at about 9 o'clock, I think it is. I want to give myself plenty of time to get there because I think it's dirt roads again from here, and I can only go at like 30 kilometres an hour on dirt roads, so it definitely takes me a lot longer. One of the best things about being an adult is that it means that I can have pizza for breakfast because I can eat what I want. And we're back on the gravel road again. I still can't quite get my head around the fact that they just have huge roads like this, like the width of a normal size road, but just gravel, and these are people's normal roads that they use in more rural areas of Australia. So yeah, pretty crazy, but headed to the caves and headed downstairs. This is the shape of the tunnel and the caves. It's pretty cool. They do look incredible though. There's stairs coming down. And then yeah, this is the main bit of the cave. Going down over here. So excited. Crawling through the kids' crawl. It is very tight. Not sure if I'm gonna fit. All the stalactites. And then there's some stalagmites as well, some big ones. Okay, we're gonna go down the steps into the next bit. Oh, they're quite steep. Hold on. Look there. It goes down even more. Even steeper. So I thought we were nearly there. We're nowhere near. We've only been here and down. Still got all this to get into the main chamber. This is very cool. Wow, this is incredible. Look at all the little ones. They look almost like coral. So cool. And then you've got like almost like sheets. This is insane. They said it takes 100 years to grow 1 centimetre. Like, that's just mental. They had some sheets hanging from the ceiling that were all multicoloured, which I thought were amazing. And then they also had some crystals, so apparently this pool used to have water in it, and that's why you've got the crystal formation at the bottom. Back in the car and just having a bit more pizza. Honestly, this pizza was huge. It's lasted me almost like 3 meals now, but that was incredible. It was much bigger cave than I thought it was. I went into the first bit and I thought that was the cave, and I was still pretty shocked. Like, I was really enjoying it. And then when I looked on the map, I realized that was a tiny weeny portion of the whole cave. And yeah, it was huge. And it was so funny because they had a little kids cave, and I was like, of course I'm going to go in the kids cave. But actually it was quite scary because it was really steep. I don't know if you were supposed to slide down it, but I was trying to crawl and I was literally like vertical like this, so a little bit dodgy, and probably shouldn't have gone in because at one point it was really low. Like, I was actually pretty much crawling on my belly and my back was right up against the roof, so probably should have actually acknowledged this fact that the sign said kids, but hey ho, it was good fun. And then I went to the rest of the cave, and it was just, like I said, enormous. There was all these steps going up and down. It went down a lot deeper than I expected it to. I have to say, I thought it was going to be kind of on one level, but it was all different heights. Maybe that was just because of the drawing. The drawing made it look like it was all on one level. But yeah, all different routes that you could go on, sort of branching off, but lots and lots of stairs. Like, I'm so glad that my knee is feeling better, because if you'd have asked me maybe even like 2-3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that because my knee would have still been giving me issues. But yeah, it was great. I went sort of round in a big circle, and there was loads of things to look at, and I probably was in there for like an hour. And it was really nice as well, because before you even went into the cave, and then on the way out as well, they had a boardwalk that went through the forest, and it was telling you all about like the history of the area, the geology, and then also about sort of local animals that you might find in the area, the different seasons, and then the history of the cave and who found it and things like that. But it was in a really interactive way, which was nice. So there was lots of kids here, and they were really enjoying it as well. So I would definitely recommend coming. Probably give yourself about an hour and a half to do it. They had a nice gift shop as well afterwards. If you like gift shops, I always like having a nosy around gift shops, just seeing what they've got. They've usually got little bits of artwork and things from local people. But yeah, really, really good fun. Really enjoyed it. And like I said, just eating some pizza now, having a little snack, having a break. It is, I think it's about 10:30, 10:45, and I went in at about 9:15. So yeah, probably about, yeah, an hour and a half in there. But really nice way to start the day. And also, because I was one of the first tours, it was really quiet. So there was some points where I was literally in the cave on my own, which was very exciting. And I sort of felt like it was my own private special place. But yeah, it was really, really nice. I think I'm going to head up the coast now, just do a little bit of a coastal drive. If I fancy stopping, I might stop. If not, I think I'm going to go back to where we went to a few weeks ago, to Dunsborough. Maybe pop into some places we've been to before, just because they're really beautiful, like Sugarloaf Rock and things like that. And then stop in Dunsborough for a little bit, because there's a really nice shopping centre there that's got loads of local little bits and bobs, and I want to pick up some local olive oil because we got some last time and it was so good. So I'm going to pop back there, get some of that, and then if the weather stays sunny like this, I might even go for a swim, because yesterday, as you saw, it was pretty horrible weather. It was rainy and cold and very windy, but this morning it's actually quite sunny. It's still cloudy, but it's not too cold. So yeah, might pop to the beach, might have a little swim before heading back up to Perth. It is always just stunning here. Like, the colours are incredible. So beautiful. I've just been to the natural spa, and I've just decided that I'm not going to go in. I think the conditions are a bit too dangerous. The swell is really big, and so the waves are crashing right over the top, and there was a couple of kids in there and they were literally getting like sucked sideways, and if you get sucked out, you get sucked out to sea, and it's quite far out, so didn't quite fancy that. And the kid that was in there was shouting about how cold it was as well. So not today, I don't think. I think as well, I think it's the wrong time with the tide to be going swimming, so I think I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm going to head over to the little shop that I want to go to, and then probably head back up to Perth, because I'm working first thing tomorrow morning, so I don't want to be getting back too late, because I've got to unload the van, have dinner, sort myself out for tomorrow. All right, got the goods. And do you know what, that little shop next to the Coles in Dunsborough was absolutely fab. I will leave the name here on the screen, but every time I've been there, they've had so much nice stuff, all from little local places as well. So yeah, really, really good place to go to if you need some little gifts, or if you want some local bits from the area but without having to go around lots of different shops. But anyway, I am going to head back to Perth now. I've just grabbed myself some sushi. I was going to try and be good and just use the things that I've brought, but I don't really fancy trying to make a sandwich whilst I'm driving, so I just saw sushi and just thought, you know what, I will just grab some. So I've got the crispy chicken and lettuce, and it's got sriracha mayo on, so it's going to be a good one. Anyway, I'm going to end off the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed coming on this little solo camping trip for the weekend. I just thought it'd be fun to vlog and show you what I got up to, and that you can go and do things by yourself. You don't have to be with other people to have a good time. And actually, I think, like I was saying yesterday, I've ended up having conversations with so many people. I feel like when you're on your own, people talk to you a lot more. So yeah, it's been really lovely and really great, and I feel like I've had a little holiday. But anyway, got 2.5 hour drive, maybe 3 hour drive home, and then some unpacking to do. So hopefully I'll catch you in my next vlog. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.